Things are starting to get a little bit ugly in the Democratic primary, both Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders taking some shots at each other that are really not what I think is the right direction for either of these candidates. Let's start with Hillary Clinton. In an interview for Politico's Off Message podcast with Glenn Thrush, Hillary Clinton has started to question whether Bernie Sanders is even a real Democrat. She was asked about this, and here is what she had to say.
Do you feel, is there a tenor difference in the way that Sanders is campaigning against you than the Obama campaign against you in '08? Do you think there's a sharper, I see your name on a lot more press releases I'm getting from the Sanders people, for instance. Do you feel that there is an acuity to the personal nature of an attack against you by the Sanders folks that wasn't necessarily present during the Obama campaign?
I did not see that in '08. He's a relatively new Democrat. And in fact, I'm not even sure he is one. He's running as one. So I don't know quite how to characterize him. I'll leave that to him. But I know there's a big difference between Democrats and Republicans. And I know that Senator Sanders spends a lot of time attacking my husband, attacking President Obama, calling President Obama weak and disappointing, and actually making a move in 2012 to recruit somebody to run a primary against him. I rarely hear him say anything negative about George W. Bush, who I think wrecked our economy, just not to put too fine a point.
So let's talk about the Democrat thing. Generally speaking, Hillary just seems like she's getting a little sick and tired of the entire Bernie thing. But let's talk about the Democrat thing. Yes, Bernie Sanders is an independent senator from Vermont. He has caucused with the Democrats his entire time in the Senate. And I don't know that this question is relevant. He has almost the same support as she does in the Democratic primaries and caucuses from Democratic primary voters. Not quite, but almost the same level of support. So what is the relevance here? I mean, is Trump really a Republican? Republicans are voting for him, even if he's been relatively moderate or even progressive on some issues most of his life. It's an interesting conversation, but I don't know that this is particularly relevant today. And it's a direction that she's going in of saying, who is this guy? I'm really the Democrat. I don't know that this guy even is a Democrat.
It's relevant in a different way.
And your mic is on, right? Of course it is.
My mic is on.
Good.
What she's actually pointing out, if you want to read between the lines, is that you can hear me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is that you can't win unless you run as either a Republican or a Democrat. And maybe that's a separate discussion.
There's a reaction from the Never Hillary crowd. I haven't heard them use that term, but that's effectively what they are in many ways, that their problem is Hillary's attitude, that they feel Hillary has this attitude of, I'm supposed to be the president next, and anybody getting in my way like Bernie Sanders is a waste of my time. I don't think that's the case. I think that Hillary Clinton is understandably concerned about the challenge that Bernie Sanders is posing. How could she not be at this point, having won 7 of the last 8 contests? But let's be as pragmatic as possible here. Hillary Clinton is still the presumptive frontrunner, but she has lost momentum, no doubt about it. Hillary is human. She knows what happened in 2008. She has to be thinking, what if it happens again? This is more than likely Hillary's last shot at the presidency. And the other issue that's coming up is Trump is probably not going to get the nomination before the Republican National Convention, right? And if Ted Cruz ends up winning, that is actually worse for Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders. So Hillary Clinton is in a situation where, on the one hand, Bernie Sanders has been gaining momentum. On the other hand, Trump, who is the person she polls against most favorably in these hypothetical polls, is on the decline, losing momentum. And if it's Kasich is just flat out ahead against Hillary Clinton. So I understand the position Hillary Clinton is in. I think this is the wrong direction altogether to go against Bernie on.
Yes, but as we've discussed, she seems to be in panic mode. This is what happens when you start panicking.